Another developing story, Adam. This one involves the Giants' new defensive end, Kayvon Thibodeaux. What more can you share here?
Well, this is an interesting story, and it goes back to the pre-draft process and a night where the Giants had Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeaux out to dinner the very same night. And it was a situation where they were out with the Giants coaches, front office members, and the Giants assistant defensive line coach, Brian Cox, essentially questioned both players. Went from Aiden Hutchinson, some questions, to Kayvon Thibodeaux. But Kayvon Thibodeaux did not like the line of questioning that Brian Cox delivered to him. And after a couple of questions about his family's history and his own personal history, he had to go to the bathroom to cool off and cool down. Eventually, he came back, and there were some people around the league that thought that this might prevent the Giants from drafting him. The incident that occurred between the two men, I think Brian Cox was trying to push some buttons here, frankly, and he did push them on Kayvon Thibodeaux. But the Giants did an awful lot of research on Kayvon Thibodeaux, and in the end, they drafted him. The two men met again this weekend. They're both putting it behind them, moving forward. But it was an interesting incident leading up to the draft that had some people in the league wondering if the Giants would go in that direction.
Yeah, Adam, let's bring in Mina Kimes here. Mina, what's your reaction to hearing this story?
I mean, first I should say we weren't there, right? But what Thibodeaux is alleging is something that has plagued the draft process for decades, which is stories from black players of them feeling dehumanized, disrespected, or stereotyped by coaches, evaluators, the media of all backgrounds. I mean, Laura, this very weekend, a Bears scout said out loud that part of the reason they liked Jaquan Brisker, the safety out of Penn State, was because he was, quote, PhD, poor, hungry, and desperate. And you hear that and you think, man, if that's what they're saying in public, what is being said behind closed doors? I mean, it's amazing that Brisker has overcome adversity and he should be championed. But to reduce his story to a draft attribute like a 40 time is to reduce who he is as a human being. This is something I think we've all been complicit in, including the media, in our word choice, the presentation of stories. But it's 2022, and by now we should really all know better.
Yeah, I got to say, being in the green room with the families of these prospects and looking at the sacrifice real time as they found out that their lives would be changed, there's so much more to these stories than a lot of these interviews and maybe the way that we've presented. That's very, very well said, Mina.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.